Coming up on UCF Nightly News, Veterans Day was this week. Check out what UCF did to honor those who served.
And see what UCF student athletes are doing to raise awareness of human trafficking. Also, UCF is helping local children overcome their fears. Stick around to see what UCF psychologists are doing to help.
You're watching Nightly News covering the university community and the greater Central Florida area.
Nightly News starts now.
Good afternoon and welcome to Nightly News. I'm Devin Cafaro.
And I'm Melissa Lujan. Today is Friday, November 14th.
UNICEF officials say human trafficking affects about 27 million people worldwide, and Florida ranks third in the nation in trafficking hotline calls. Reporter Paige Sterner took a look into how campus organizations are fighting back and how one survivor is speaking out.
My friend's father was a trafficker and recruited us, and so instead of having pancakes and pool parties for sleepovers, we had cocaine and alcohol.
Author Katarina Rosenblatt is one of the many survivors of human trafficking.
They meet some type of need and sense of belonging in the child that is missing at home. And so that is probably one of the biggest recruitment tools, is the lure of love.
This surprisingly occurs during major sporting events like the Super Bowl and the NCAA tournament. UNICEF officials say Central Florida is a major trafficking hub. Here at UCF, the DeVos Sport Business Management Program teamed up with UNICEF and the National Consortium for Academics and Sports in order to educate the community. The result? Shut Out Human Trafficking Week, a brand new movement at 10 different campuses nationwide. Lizzie Haldane with the DeVos program says trafficking is hard to fight.
What makes human trafficking so difficult to combat is the fact that it is such a complex and such a well-orchestrated supply chain. So the only way to really address it is to educate.
Volunteers tabled all week and held multiple events on campus. The UCF community had an opportunity to take a look into what life in a brothel is like. Athletes on campus are also getting involved. Many of the sports teams are wearing armbands to support the cause.
Bringing awareness to the college campuses like you're doing here is probably the #1 resource you can offer to potential victims.
What it comes down to is it doesn't have to relate to sports. It's just we're all human beings and we want to make change.
In Orlando, Paige Sterner, UCF Nightly News.
UNICEF officials estimate trafficking makes $150 billion a year, and the breakdown between genders is closer than you would think. Females account for 55% and males the other 45%.
Residents of the Marquee apartment complex, formerly known as Sterling Central, can expect to see some changes after the third robbery on the property this semester. Complex officials sent out an email on Wednesday stating there will be security officers monitoring the parking garage daily. Residents will have to show their driver's license and garage key to the officers to get inside. And if those residents invite guests, they will have to escort them through the checkpoint.
The UCF community celebrated Veterans Week in honor of the brave men and women who fought for our country, and the events range from a veterans job fair to an off-campus parade. On Thursday, the Veterans Academic Resource Center hosted Flag Day at Memory Mall, where VARC officials placed one flag for every student veteran at UCF. The week ends with the Knights Military Appreciation Game against Tulsa tonight. But Veterans Week isn't the only time UCF gives back to those who served in the military. Psychologists and grad students here on campus are helping veterans cope with post-traumatic stress disorder. The program is called UCF Restores, and it offers trauma management therapy to both active duty and retired military personnel. Here, the veterans learn to overcome PTSD through virtual reality seminars that expose them to traumatic events overseas. Officials say they receive a grant for more than $5 million from the Department of Defense to operate the program, and veterans from all over the nation come to the UCF Psychology Building to take part.
It's the most wonderful time of the year, and students can enjoy the holiday festivities for free on campus.
That's right, the Light Up UCF Carnival opened this week for its 7th season, and this year the light show is bigger and better. I was there on opening night to learn how this tradition started and to find out what you can expect to see there. It looks like a small carnival by day, but by night it transforms into a winter wonderland.
Light Up UCF!
It's Light Up UCF, a 50-day holiday tradition that students wait for all year.
It's Christmassy, and I love Christmas.
And on its season debut, the CFE Arena offered a free night exclusively to students. Here, you can enjoy a 75-foot tall Ferris wheel, the Light Up Express, the Blizzard, an ice slide, and even a carriage ride. All while music plays to the thousands of lights strung across the CFE Arena. And while the light show is bigger and better this year,
the most I'm looking forward to ice skating. Haven't done that since last year.
The 8,000 square foot skating rink is the fan favorite, where students can glide and dance to the music. So how did this UCF tradition start?
We created this about 7 years ago as a way to really do something special for students. And we first started talking about the idea of an ice rink out in front of the arena. Everybody said, "Oh, you're crazy. We'll never do that. How could we possibly do that?"
Tony Peluso is the original mind behind Light Up UCF. He says the event took a lot of planning and started with only the ice skating rink, but now less than a decade later.
We're just really proud of it, and we're proud to say that UCF does something like this. I think it's such a special thing. There's no other university in the country that can, that can do this, and it's pretty special.
And although UCF is in the heart of Florida, students can still enjoy a little bit of snow for the next 49 days. Light Up UCF will also show holiday films 3 days a week each week, as well as a charity 5K run that raises money for Night Dawn and Second Harvest Food Bank. The next free night for students is on Wednesday the 19th. For more information about the schedule or prices for when it's not student night, visit nightlynews.ucf.edu. I had so much fun at Light Up UCF. I rode rides, I went ice skating. I almost fell, but I didn't.
Oh, and it's also a great family event. Even my mom has been begging me to take her. Also going on campus this week is Native American Heritage Month. It kicked off this week at UCF with a showcase celebrating the Piscataway Nation. Multicultural Student Center officials held the event on Monday, featuring performances from the singers and dancers of the Piscataway tribe. MSC officials say this event will be the first of many to celebrate Native American Heritage Month. They plan to shine light on the history of Native Americans to the UCF community.
Breakthrough technology is helping Central Florida children overcome social anxiety disorder, and the UCF Psychology Department is pioneering a virtual reality world that can help these children. Psychologists say social anxiety disorder is an extreme fear of being judged or criticized by others, and the condition affects 15 million Americans a year. Kids with this disorder are shy and avoid big crowds and need special training to learn how to interact with their environment. And UCF psychologists are helping those kids with a virtual environment school. Pegasus VR allows children to practice interacting with multiple characters like a principal or a bully.
Find that children who repeatedly use these skills and continuously practice them, eventually it becomes so natural that they can implement them in a group setting with other kids or at school.
The program recently received a grant for more than $2 million to expand the virtual reality world.
The UCF Police Department is using magic to add a special member to its team. UCF Police hosted a magic show Thursday to raise money for a new dog, its training, and equipment. Currently, the canine unit on campus consists of 3 specialized dogs after one retired recently. Jimmy Rook, a comedy magician and UCF police officer who was featured on America's Got Talent, was the special guest at the event. Police officials say the fundraiser is needed because the dogs can cost up to $8,000.
You just don't see a lot of it on the news, but they're called out all the time. So these dogs are very valuable. I mean, their sense of smell is what we use. That's the most valuable tool.
The dog will join the department next month and will be named Buster.
Time now for a first look at our weather. Chris joins us with our first forecast.
And the forecast looks refreshing. Chris, what can you tell us?
That's right, it's going to be chilly as a cool front pushes throughout the state. And currently our temperatures outside are 65 degrees, humidity is at 58%, our winds are from the north, and that's at 7 miles an hour. We have a 0% chance of rain right now, but the clouds are still there. And a little bit later, we'll have more on your forecast and your 5-day outlook in the broadcast.
Thanks, Chris. Still ahead on Nightly News, a UCF student is hoping to break barriers with a new photo campaign.
And Nighthon is in full swing at UCF. Find out how they're using dating to help raise money. A UCF student is hoping to break stereotypes with a new photo campaign on campus. Photographer Nicholas Bajima is aiming to raise awareness of typical misconceptions. The campaign Shuttered Stereotypes will consist of multiple pictures portraying students in various scenarios. Bajima will post a question below each photograph, challenging the audience to rethink the existence of labels, like that of men being smarter than women.
It's to show that we can all embrace these stereotypes so that there are none anymore, because they all are a part of us. So the goal is to basically increase the inclusivity of the UCF campus through these photos.
Bajima plans to finish by summer 2015. He hopes the campaign receives on-campus support and circulation.
Young Latinos may be at a higher risk for more health problems. A new legacy study shows they are more likely to smoke than the general population. 22% of Latino college students across 4 universities nationwide reported being current smokers. Research also shows that students living on campus are more likely to smoke than students living off campus. The study reports lung cancer is the most common cancer among Latinos, and Professor of Healthcare Communications Dr. Rufus Barfield says the findings could help young Hispanics.
I think that research could then lead us to help better understanding how then do we come up with interventions and strategies that will be best utilized within those groups.
Health officials hope to use these results across college campuses nationwide.
What if going on a date also meant helping children? Knights auctioned off their fellow classmates Wednesday evening for charity. Nighthon members hosted Date Auction at Burger U, one of the program's most popular events every year. Attendees could bid on a variety of packages that ranged from Disney tickets to fancy dinners. In addition, 20% of all proceeds from food and drinks is benefiting the Children's Miracle Network hospitals.
Money that we raise for Children's Miracle Network hospitals allows those hospitals to be the top performing hospitals because they have more access to little things like family life for the kids so they're not miserable in the hospitals. They have more access to cheaper equipment and things like that. So it really helps, and you can see it every day in the miracle families that come to our events.
With just 4 months until their annual 20-hour dance marathon, Nighthon members say they already have a full list of events scheduled for the spring semester. Thousands of visitors will hit Orlando on Sunday as downtown is transforming into super fan paradise. Comic-Con is coming to town. The Orlando Toy and Comic-Con is a convention where fans can get comic books, toys, artwork, and apparel from their favorite comics and movies. Attendees can meet creators, artists, and celebrities at the convention, and $500 in cash prizes will be awarded for the best costumes of fans who dress up.
It looks like a lot of fun, almost like a second Halloween.
I know I've never gone personally, but a lot of my friends have gone and they always enjoy it.
Well, the weather has been mild lately. When we come back, Chris tells us what to expect for the next few days.
And a little later in sports, we'll preview tonight's football game.
Good news for students who are graduating. White House representatives say the unemployment rate is at the lowest point in 6 years. And recently, the number of available job openings hit a 13-year high. Experts at Career Services offered tips on how students can increase their chances of getting a job, starting by building a strong resume. Next, practice your interview skills. And finally, attend workshops to build your network and get your name out there. Experts say following these tips can help you achieve your career goals. Now, time for a look at our weather. Back to Chris with the forecast.
Okay, as you can see here, we're out here at Memory Mall. We've got a live look out at the tailgating event getting ready to get started. And it's a little cloudy right now at Memory Mall, but still everyone's getting ready. And you can even see Light Up UCF in the back here. And now we'll take a look at our state temperatures going on up here in the north part. We've got Tallahassee at 55, and over in Jacksonville, we've actually got 59 degrees. And in sunny Orlando, we're actually a little bit warmer at 69. Tampa, close, 68. And down in Miami, we're actually a little bit warmer at 78 degrees. The cold front has yet to push through there yet. And now we'll take a look at our national perspective map. And taking a look at the northwest, we're actually seeing that there's a large cold front that's building over the Rockies right now. This is going to spread over the middle west and bring snow all throughout the Midwest here. And that's going to actually push to the south over the next couple of days. We're going to see snow in very south regions of the country. And over in the northeast, we're actually seeing a clear weather right now. It's actually pretty nice right now. And over in Florida's neck of the woods, where you see the cold front here pushing through over the next 12 hours and in time for the games tonight to look good. And let's take a look at our snow coverage here. It's November 14th. We're actually getting lots of snow coverage already. This time of year, it's very early, and it's already coming to the south part of the country. And over the next couple of days, it's going to move into Texas, where it's actually going to be pretty south for this time of year. And even in Arkansas, we might even see a little bit of snow. And now we'll take a look at our hurricane map. We're actually tracking that this season over in the Pacific has actually been a much more active season. This is much more typical to an El Nino year. And in contrast, in the Atlantic, we've only had 5 named storms. Normally we have about 12 named storms, and we are currently looking at only 4 hurricanes this season, which is a very small amount for the year. And now we'll take a look at the 5-day forecast to see what's coming up. And Saturday, we're actually looking at 75 degrees. It's going to be a beautiful day on Saturday with no chance of rain. And moving into Sunday, it's going to warm up over the next day or so, bringing us back into the middle 80s, and lows will be in the 60s. On Monday night, we're actually going to see the cold front push through in the evening, bringing a higher percentage chance of rain. And Tuesday, it's going to be a wet and rainy day with lows around 62. Once that cold front pushes through, it's going to bring the coldest weather that we've seen of the season so far. And in Wednesday morning, low of 42, that's going to be some really cold weather. Make sure you all bundle up and get your jackets ready. And now we'll toss it back to the desk with Devin and Melissa.
Thank you, Chris. And still ahead on Nightly News, women's basketball is back.
Sports is up next.
Welcome back, Knights fans. I'm Paige Turner, and this is your UCF Sports Update. The women's soccer team suffered a tough 1-0 loss to UConn in the semifinal match of the American Athletic Conference tournament. Despite the loss, the ladies still made it to the NCAA tournament. This is the 8th consecutive appearance for the Knights. They host Georgia tomorrow at 7 p.m. here at the UCF Soccer Complex. The women's basketball team is finally back in action. They played their first game and only exhibition game on Friday. Redshirt senior Brittany Montgomery had a double-double for the night with 16 points and 13 rebounds. But it was true sophomore guard Zakira Lewis who went off. She had 25 points in just 23 minutes. The Knights had their season opener this morning against FAU. The ladies had a commanding victory, winning 94-74. The women's volleyball team is looking to bounce back this weekend after a loss to Temple. Despite the defeat, the team is still #1 in the AAC standings, with Temple a close second. Their next match is today at 3 against Tulsa in the venue at UCF. It's time now to take a look inside the NFL and see how some of our former Knights played this week in our segment, NFL Knights. It was a rough week for Brandon Marshall and the Chicago Bears. The Monsters of the Midway played the Green Bay Packers and found themselves in a deep hole early. Despite not practicing all week, offensive guard Josh Sitton kept quarterback Aaron Rodgers safe en route to his 6 passing touchdowns, all of them in the first half. Marshall provided a little spark, though, as the wide receiver racked up 112 yards and a touchdown on the night. The Bears lost to the Packers 55-14. Moving on to Blake Bortles and the Jaguars, they traveled to England to take on the Cowboys in the final international event of the season. Bortles threw for 290 yards, no touchdowns, and 1 interception in a 31-17 loss. The UCF football team is back in action tonight after a bye week. Justin Holman and the Knights take on Tulsa at 8 p.m. on ESPN. I hope to see you all there cheering on our team to victory. That's all the time we have for now. Back to Devin and Melissa at the desk. So, can I expect to see you guys out there?
Yes, you can, Paige. It sounds like it's going to be a great game, and tailgating starts at 4.
I'm thinking we should all just head out there straight after the show. If you have a story idea or a comment about something you've seen here at Nightly News, email us at nightlynews@ucf.edu.
And be sure to check us out online at nightlynews.ucf.edu. Join us here again next week for our final show of the semester. Until then, have a great weekend.